17, Birdland. The O's are back. Last year here in Sarasota, over 119,000 came to watch them at home in 16 games, a franchise record, 11 sellouts, and a little taste of Baltimore. Spring training, what's it all about? Getting in shape for the season? Ernie Banks said a little more than that. He said spring training means flowers, people coming outdoors, sunshine, optimism, and baseball. Spring training is a time to think about being young again. So all of you feel young again. Ernie Banks always did. It's spring training. Hi, everybody. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer. Delighted to be back with you as the Orioles get set for another season where the expectations are pretty high in a very tough division once again, but with some lumber to get it done. Jim, looking forward to an exciting year for this ball club.
Well, you really are. And, if you talk about excitement, the Orioles, they hit more home runs than anybody in Major League Baseball. Last 4 years, they've had the home run leader in the American League, wearing an Oriole uniform. So, we know they can hit home runs. I guess ideally you want a little bit better on base percentage. We're going to see Seth Smith, who last year hit 4 home runs against the Orioles. He's now an Oriole. He'll be leading off today. You work on the on base percentage. But I think the big question, Gary, as we know, the Red Sox, of course, they get Chris Sale. So now all of a sudden they got 2 Cy Young Award winners and him. Do you have enough pitching? Last year, the average Major League amount of starters used was 9.8. So the Orioles, I think this spring, they're going to be looking for starters. Tillman threw today, not off the mound, but played long catch. He's going to, I think, maybe pitch the 10th of March. So he's back. And obviously, if you're going to have a good year, you want him to be healthy. And the Orioles, again, really enter into the season with the same question mark, the big question mark that they had last year. Do you leave too much to the bullpen? Can the starters give them enough innings so the bullpen remains fresh? No, the pen is good. That's the same question we had last year. Well, you hope you get Darren O'Day all year long, and I'll tell you what, you give this bullpen, #1 bullpen in the American League last year, the lead. I don't see any reason why. I don't know if Britt's going to go 47 for 47, but they had a marvelous year, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be awfully good again this year. All right, great to be back with you here on Massa. The Orioles taking on the New York Yankees here in Sarasota. Only time the Yankees are going to be here this season, and only 1 of 3 this spring against them. Discover the sophisticated ambiance of Lido Key in Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast. Visit and learn more at visitsarasota.com. Glorious day here today. Lots of sunshine. This is really March weather in February. The World Baseball Classic being played this year. Early spring training and a long one. Yankees. This is the lineup for them. A lot of guys who we've seen before with Hicks, Romine, Bird, Judge, Ref Snyder, Tejada, Andujar, Fowler, and Mateo. Austin Romine last season, a real good year against the Orioles. And Ubaldo Jimenez will pitch for the Orioles. Last year you look at the total numbers, 8-12, but they're just hoping that, again, obviously didn't pitch well in the wild card game, gave up the winning runs, but September song, mechanical adjustment, working with, Dave Wallace, who's no longer here, Dom Chidi, but Ramon Martinez simplified the windup. He's a tall guy at 6'5". And the end of the day, if he throws strike one, he could use the splitter, he could use his breaking ball. Much more efficient pitcher. And again, if you look at his September, just as he did the year before he signed with the Orioles when he went 4-0, he went 3-1, really pitched good baseball.
Great second half of the year for him, so will he build on that? That's the Orioles' hope. What a day here. It's 83 degrees, sunny skies, few high clouds around, wind as typical blowing out to left field during batting practice. It was blowing directly in from center. But for this ball game, to start at least, the right-handers will have the advantage, and another big house on hand here with the Yankees in town. We are ready to go. Hicks stands in for the Yankees, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Chad Fairchild, veteran umpire behind the plate. Paul Emmel, Bill Welke, and Ed Fagan will have the umpiring crew today. Sometimes there are 3 for these spring training games. 4, however, have been assigned for this one. Jimenez, who has picked the pace up last season, believing he can throw a few more strikes if he just gets the ball and delivers and takes less time to think about it. So we'll see what his pace looks like this year. He'll miss up high with that one, 1-2.
Well, we talked about mechanical adjustments, and the simple thing is he used to break his hands when they were actually behind him. You'll see now, great angle from center field. He breaks them a little bit earlier, so the arm goes straight back, doesn't get behind him, which makes him go side to side.
Here's the delivery to Hicks, and he will take the pitch down low for a ball. Hicks getting the start in left field. Certainly he's going to see a lot of playing time for the Yankees. Came up with a great handle. A lot of hope for him as a prospect in Minnesota. Didn't work out there. Yankees are hoping that a lot of that talent they saw in Minnesota early on will come to fruition here with the Yankees. Hicks will take that one up high, and the count will even out, will go full rather. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Aaron Hicks, we saw him. In fact, the major league debut was in Baltimore for the Twins, and didn't hit as well. Very good defender. So he can play the outfield, big outfield in New York when you're playing at home.
3-2 delivery on the way, and that'll go down to first base. Trumbo getting a chance to play a little first base today. We won't do a lot of that during the year. Here's the rest of it.
Yeah, you take a look at the defense. Kim in left, Jones, 4-time Gold Glove winner. Seth Smith, he's will be in right field. Chris Johnson comes over. His dad, the AAA manager. Machado, Gold Glover, third. Schoop, Trumbo, and then Wellington Castillo, who is soon to be off to the World Baseball Classic doing the catching.
Seth Smith's new acquisition is going to be in the outfield a good deal, probably platooning. Big numbers against right-handers, not very good against left-handers. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Kevin Romine kind of in a little bit of a battle for a backup spot, the expected backup catcher for Gary Sanchez of the Yankees this season. And that one fouls straight back into the screen.
Yeah, the one thing he didn't do well last year is attempting to throw out runners. Again, you saw the RBIs, not a high average, but he got a lot of clutch hits for him. Again, he receives the ball well, but again, how quick's your release? How accurate can your throws be?
242 number last year with the 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. Breaking ball's going to miss outside. Orioles, you're getting a look at him today here in our first TV broadcast at players who are going to be in the starting lineup for the Orioles. You'll see it when we go through it. The defensive lineup pretty much as to what you'll see. J.J. Hardy, of course, still out. Ground ball towards the right again. Trumbo off his glove, and Schoop can't pick it up. Jimenez got over there, and Schoop been able to make a clean play. They might have had a chance on it. That'll be a base hit.
And again, Mark Trumbo, he's played first, he's played third last year. I don't know if he did play first other than spring training. Ball that he might catch if he played there more often, but it gets by him, and then Schoop can't come up with it.
So they will give him a base hit on that to Romine.
Yeah, when you play for a good defensive club, I was watching the Twins and the Red Sox, and Ryan Vogel saw him trying to make the team, and his third baseman, he did not have, didn't make a play, and all of a sudden 5 runs later you're going, gee boy, I was almost out of that inning. It's nice to be able, and that's what good defenses do, get your pitcher off the field.
Bird will stand in and will foul that one away. Here's a player that did not get on the board last year, and the Yankees had hoped he was going to be available last season. He is healthy now for this year, and they are really counting on him to be a regular everyday player in this lineup, playing they expect at first base for the Yankees.
Yeah, big guy. Yeah, good defender. I mean, really good year in 2015 over what the last couple of months. 150 plus at bats, hit 11 home runs, drove in runs, hung in there against lefties. Of his 11 home runs, 9 were against right-handed pitching.
He's got power and the ability to really help this offense of the Yankees, and now it's just a matter of staying healthy, and he'll get his playing time. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 1 down, runner on here at first base. Judge waiting on deck. Trumbo holding the bag on Romine, who is not a base stealer. Orioles have seen some running early in spring training. That's going to get down the line, and that's going to be a base hit. Making the turn is Romine, heading to third, over to get it is Smith. Big turn at third. They're going to hold him up. Quick relay into Jonathan Schoop, as it looked like Romine was going to have a chance to score on that, but didn't get to third as quickly as you might expect.
Yeah, well, he is a catcher, and then the other factor, and we saw it yesterday, nobody throws better from second base than Jonathan Schoop on cutoff. So a little breaking ball, he's hooked down the line, so you're thinking that's going to be a double. Remember the play that Trumbo didn't make? But do you hit the cutoff man? And right here, if you're the third base coach for the Yankees, you're putting the brakes on, because again, you got Aaron Judge coming up, and you do not want Romine thrown out at home plate. Happened yesterday at third base, got the Orioles out of an inning. They would go on to win that game.
So now 2 in scoring position and 1 away, and here is Aaron Judge, who has already gained the attention of the spring training baseball world with a couple of shots that have been not only out of the ballpark but just about out of the city where they were playing. He has got some real power, and the Yankees are going to be counting on him probably in right field to be a starter this year, and they hope he's going to be a very big part of their what looks like to be a power offense.
Well, he and Tyler Austin, who will maybe make this team, they both hit home runs in their first game last year for the Yanks.
Judge goes to short, runner coming home. Play is going to be made at third. Tag put on, and they will get the out. So Romine will score. Manny Machado at short, going to Johnson at third base to get the lead runner RBI. Yankees go up, the Orioles get the out.
Yeah, perfect example. You want to stay out of the big innings, and how do you do it? Machado, heads up play, bad base running by Greg Bird. Just because you hit a double doesn't mean when the ball's hit to your right, you go to third. Same thing if nobody was on. So they get, not only get the second out, they get the runner in scoring position.
Chris Johnson, a chance at third base today, laid the tag on and had plenty of time to get it there. So the RBI for Judge. Here's Refsnyder. He will take the pitch from Jimenez for a strike. Refsnyder getting the start at first base in this ball game. 2 down now with a runner on at first. Refsnyder with the 12 RBIs last season for the Yankees, appearing in 58 games. Did have 150 at bats during the season for them. He has been an in and out player for the Yankees.
Well, he can play everywhere. He's actually learning to play first base. So, we saw him come up a couple of years ago, maybe on a more regular basis in September. And then again, line drive hitter, occasional power, comes out of Southern California.
Refsnyder will chop that one towards second off the end of the bat. Schoop makes the play over to Trumbo, and that'll do it. So the Yankees will pick up a run on a couple of hits. We'll check the Orioles lineup for our spring training game in just a minute. road here at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota. Take a look at the lineup for the Orioles. As we said, a lot of starters. Smith, Jones, and Machado. Davis, Trumbo, and Kim. Schoop, Chris Johnson at third base. And the new catcher, Wellington Castillo. Manny against the Yankees. Those are the career numbers he's put up.
Chad Green, only 25. Health is wealth. Actually, he's coming off his best game last year, and then he pitches against the Orioles early September. A little bit of a sprained ligament, so his season ended. Gopheritis. He threw 12 home runs in limited innings last year. Only 45 innings, but he was good in the minor leagues. And again, for him, he's got 4 pitches. Can he keep the ball in the ballpark? I mean, at AAA, lights out. 1.32 ERA, 7-6 record. So figured it out down there.
And here is the new Oriole, one of them, Seth Smith. Expected to be a lot of time in right field. Left-handed hitter, as we said. He has put up the numbers against the right-handers, and he's put up the numbers against the Orioles. We sometimes joke about teams that trade for players who play their best games against them, and Smith's one of those who's done that against the Orioles. That'll go to center. Wind coming in from left a bit right now. Put away by Fowler. Smith retired.
Yeah, the wind kind of gusting. Good day to pitch. Take a look at the Yankee defense. Hicks, Fowler, and Aaron Judge, the big guy with an RBI in the first inning. Andujar, Mateo Tejada, Ref Snyder, and then Austin Romine doing the catching. Yeah, good day to throw the nice, high, soft fly balls. Not going very far.
Nope, the wind was blowing, as we said, in batting practice, then out to left at the start of the game, and now it's blowing back in again. Orioles leader Adam Jones. Another season in center field for the multiple-time All-Star of the Orioles. You see that flag out there in left center, giving you some sense of the direction. Adam will foul that one back. For Adam last year, numbers a little lower in the average. 29 home runs, though, and 83 RBIs. Adam reaching that 30 mark, so Buck Showalter might want to get him out of a couple more games, but I literally mean a couple. Adam was one of those guys you don't get out of the lineup very easily. Judge on a fly ball being blown towards the line will come over and put it away. Jones retired. A couple of fly ball outs here against Green. Green is battling for the starting rotation. The Yankees know that they have got 3 who are in place, barring any injuries, with the CC Sabathia, Tanaka, Pineda, and then Green's among 5 really who have a shot at the remaining 2 spots. And those who don't make the starting rotation, probably 2 or 3 of those 5 could end up in the bullpen.
Yeah, well, you have Adam Warren. He's so good out of the bullpen, much more mature than the other guys. Sessa, who we saw last year, he'll pitch tomorrow for the Yankees. Another youngster.
Manny Machado rips that one into the seats.
And then you start talking about, say, Brian Mitchell's another guy, but he had the foot problem last year, so he would probably not be a starter because he's only going to pitch so many innings anyway.
Yep.
Because he's a young guy. So, it's nice to have options. But you got to come up if you're Joe Girardi with 2 guys that are going to help you compete.
Pitch is going to be taken inside. Manny Machado, of course, with JJ out, with Hardy out, has been playing at short, which is where he's going to play for the Dominican Republic team in the World Baseball Classic. Fouls it away. Talking with Buck this morning, the World Baseball Classic creates all kinds of differentials. You get spring training starting earlier. It's a longer spring training, but you're going to have a group of players from each of the teams that are going to be leaving to play on the national teams. Ground ball right back into the glove. Green with "Look What I Found" makes the flip. Machado's retired. So Green retires the side in order. Completed 1. Yankees have a 1-0 lead. lead. Buck is back, of course. 8th season as the Orioles manager. 18 in the majors.
Jim.
Buck can't hear us. We can hear him, which is always a dangerous situation. You never want that to happen. You know, it's kind of like opening the wrong envelope or something. All right, we'll get Buck taken care of. Here is Tejada. Ruben Tejada is getting the start at second base in the ball game. Outfield moves in a little bit. Ubaldo Jimenez, first pitch, ground ball. That'll go to Manny Machado. Quick throw over, and Tejada's retired on a pitch.
Yeah, that's, again, we talked about cheese at the knees. You know, when you saw Jimenez pitching for Colorado, he was throwing 96, 97. Well, he'll probably top out at 91 every once in a while, 92. But strike one, put it in play. You know, the good news about the first inning, I mean, you know, he pitched in 25 games last year. 24 times he scored in the first inning. So again, limited to one.
Miguel Andujar will stand in. Fowler waiting on deck for the Yankees. And I think we got Buck fixed up down there.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Hi, Skip.
That was me that was putting the mic under the table. No, I like talking to you guys.
Oh, gee.
Sit down, Doctor.
Look at this. You got 2 outs.
Okay, guys. Anything else?
You just wanted to have a quick inning, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, three pitches, 2 outs. We kind of like that from Ubaldo, don't we?
Jimmy, this is the crispest he's been since he's been an Oriole this spring. Knock on wood. You know, you see the velocity. He's touched 92 twice in the first inning. Not that he doesn't have a purpose every time. There's a there's a good step in his giddy up right now. You can see it in his eyes. He's carrying a lot crisper stuff than he normally does this time of year.
Well, I mean, he had a great September. He went 3-1. I mean, the Orioles signed him out coming off when he was with the Indians, what, a 4-0 with a ERA of about 1 run a game.
We don't make the playoffs last year without Ubaldo coming on there.
So do you figure that he's going to build on it, being the type A veteran pitcher?
Well, I hope so, Jim. You know better than anybody. But, you know, I found this game. This doesn't mean that's going to happen. This doesn't mean this is going to happen. I wish it was that simple, that everything led to this and there was a process. I just know that Ubaldo will be as good as he's capable of being. I know Roger McDowell has been kind of stepping back with a new set of eyes. I'm really impressed with the consistency of his delivery so far this spring, and it's all about getting to that point where you can be consistent with your location, and you know that's been the challenge for Ubaldo.
Fowler delivers the base hit. Dustin Fowler playing in center field. That'll bring Mateo up a couple down, 1 on. How about a little snapshot of your new catcher this season who's working behind the plate right now, Buck?
Well, you know, first of all, it's quite a feather in his hat. Of all the catchers from Dominican Republic, he was the one that was chosen to catch for the national team for Dominican in the WBC. He's taken a lot of pride in it. Very engaged, very easy to talk to. A guy that is really always trying to improve. You know, I think we have one, if not the best catching instructors in baseball. We've seen what John Russell's been able to do with guys from point A to point B, and the one thing we got back on Wellington, how receptive he is to things, and he's made great adjustments, and he's going to fit in well. He's going to be an offensive threat for us too. He's a strong young man. He can really throw. He's already thrown out a couple of guys here in a short time.
He did it yesterday. I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of times you get to see guys. Arizona came in for a weekend last year. Didn't have a great hitting team, but I didn't realize he threw as well as he does.
Well, from advanced scout point, I wish we had too. No, we obviously it's not one thing we do a lot. You know, we had to do it. I might go to replay there. Best tagger in the game, those 2 guys in the middle with him and JJ and Manny, 3 of them.
Buck, I don't. Let me turn you a little bit away here as we take a look at the stolen base.
What do you got on the replay?
You got it on the replay. He's safe.
No, he's not.
Yes,
okay.
He is. You got a special T-shirt up in the dugout,
yes.
And I want to make sure we get that in.
Yeah, today was a big day. In fact, some of the new guys that weren't aware of Monica Barlow that we got together a little bit and told them, one, how much I appreciate them putting this on. It's a big moment to honor her and also bring some some notice, so to speak, to longevity, something that was very dear to Monica's heart. We miss her every day. She was a special part of Oriole land, and it doesn't take a T-shirt on one day a year. She's in our hearts all the time. She was special, and we were fortunate to be around her. Get in there, young man.
Couldn't agree more. Diving catch made. Adam Jones has still got it.
Is he playing too deep there?
I don't think so.
Buck, thanks a million. We appreciate it. We'll have many chances here as the season goes along. Have a good one.
Okay, guys. Thanks for having me.
Mateo on a great catch. The out recorded by Jones.
The DQ5.
Over the cost of the single game tickets, postseason priority, MLB's most flexible exchange policy, and access to the hottest ticket in Birdland, the Orioles opening day. For details, Orioles.com/season. Do it today. By Chris Davis to the plate, smiling this morning. He said, I don't mind the long spring training, and I don't mind that we got here early. He said, I played less than 100% all last year. Chris said, to tell you the truth, I couldn't wait to get going. He had that soreness in the left hand for much of last year that affected his ability to drive the ball, cut down on the swing, and this year it feels good.
Yeah, and that left hand is the right hand, the right shoulder hand, whatever gets you the ball. But if you can't turn the wrist over, and the numbers showed that he didn't pull the ball with the same kind of velocity, and it happened on that on a slide down in Tampa early in the year, where Longoria caught a little looper over his shoulder on a hop, and then very kind of a almost looked like a kind of a crash Davis at second base. He kind of came in, caught the ground and the base with his left hand, and then had a ligament. Not a tear, but not in the thumb, but close to it. Bothered him all year, as you mentioned.
Davis will take the pitch inside. That's something happening early on this spring for Chris. He's taking more pitches. He's already drawn a few walks, and that's not something that Buck Showalter is going to be negative towards. I mean, obviously in situations for RBIs, that's his job, but if he can increase that on-base percentage, cut down the strikeouts, he'll just be a better hitter.
Yeah, I think the one thing other than the home runs, I mean, he always hits home runs, is that his on-base percentage was good. And in this lineup, they always talk about the best lineups. They get on for the guy behind them, and this lineup has that kind of capability.
That'll bring Trumbo to the plate. I think if there's any surprise for the Orioles, it's the fact this guy's in an Orioles uniform. I don't think there were many in the offseason who thought Mark Trumbo would be re-signing with Baltimore.
Well, I thought in the market, I mean, it showed to be a little different than I anticipated, and I think a lot of power hitters. He led the American League and Major Leagues with 47 home runs. Was that you would have thought that there would have been a lot of guys getting big contracts. So these are the offseason additions. Nuno in the last week. Seth Smith on base percentage at 16 home runs. Castillo, somebody's got to take Weeder's place. Certainly 14 home runs, had a nice year. So I hope he stays healthy.
Yep, some guys who are going to make a difference. Yeah. Pitch up, Trumbo going after it. We've talked about, and it will be talked about, of course, Orioles leading the American League in home runs. 4 straight seasons. They've had a leader, Chris Davis, Mark Trumbo, who have been leaders in home runs hit in the course of a year. And the last time a team had a home run leader 4 straight years was the Giants. So you got to go all the way back to 61. That'll be the short on the big hop. Mateo Tejada relay over to first base, and 2 down.
Yeah, and meanwhile, on the other side of the diamond, Joe Girardi got to like this lead off walk. Didn't want to do that for Chad Green. And the one thing we've seen is he's got good stuff. Yeah, now against the Orioles in about 6 innings threw 4 home runs. So that was one of our keys to the game. But right there, nice little slider. He's got that along with 2 different fastballs and a split-fingered pitch. And again, if the Yankees struggled for runs last year, except at home, way under 500 when they played away from Yankee Stadium. You need somebody to throw ground balls at Yankee Stadium to be very successful.
Here is Kim, and he will take the pitch up high. Young-Soo Kim, who last season only 18 at-bats against lefties, hit .321 against the right-handers. So right now, when you talk about the corner positions, you've got Smith in right field, who, as we told you, did not hit well against the left-handers, and you got Kim in left field, who did not hit well against left-handers and had very few chances. And that's why there's so much depth in this Orioles roster right now in outfield positions, because there's going to have to be some juggling.
Well, they got Craig Gentry, and the Orioles, remember, he's a .275 lifetime hitter. Last year Joey Rickard, before the thumb injury, hit over 300 against lefties. Obviously Gentry with much more experience.
Green's delivery to him will go to first base. That'll be a base hit. No chance for Refsnyder to snag that. He'll make the big turn. Going to try for 2. His Judge's throw on the tag. He is out. Got him as he went by. Refsnyder with a good throw and a nice tag put on. So Kim, who got the base hit, trying to extend it into a double. Tag down. And not much question about that. He's out of there.
Outside.
Enjoy Birdland's best value in family entertainment for the kids 14 and under. It's the Junior Orioles Dugout Club. Always a big hit every year. The official kids club of the Orioles. Memberships, you come in your choice of 2 6-game ticket packages with lots of extras. The club hat, socks, backpack, and more. Friends and family can purchase additional tickets to games starting as low as $6. So why don't you join in? Orioles.com/dugout club. Back here, Yankees have the lead. Orioles make a pitching change.
Yeah, so Vidal Nuno, we saw him last year with Seattle. You can see the numbers. We first saw him. He was a Yankee originally, if you go all the way back to 2013. Last year, 55 games, only 1 start. So, again, he can start. Seems to be a little more effective. He doesn't dominate lefties, fastball, 89, 90. Turn it over. Pretty good breaking ball. A veteran pitcher. Turns 30 in July.
A lot of first ball hitting going on in this one. Hicks to center field. Jones has got that. Ubaldo Jimenez out of there. The Orioles starter. Run on 3 hits, 2 innings, no walks, no strikeouts, and he joins us. Ubaldo, great to have you back with us here on the air. Buck Showalter was talking about the fact he thinks you're as crisp as he's seen you ever here this spring. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. I feel pretty good today. I was able to command the fastball and then keep attacking the strike zone.
Well, we were talking the other day. You had a great September, 3-1. You go back, 4 years ago. I mean, you had one of the greatest Septembers in the history of baseball. 4-0 with a ERA of about 1 run a game. You made a mechanical change with your hands. Can you maybe kind of explain it simply to the fans listening?
Yeah, sure. I think in the first half of the season, what I was doing was I was going over my head, and then I was breaking my hands too early. Instead of making it go down, I was breaking it right here, so that makes my mechanic go everywhere. That's why I couldn't have a consistent release point.
Is that you got your arm behind you, and then all of a sudden you became a little side to side?
Yeah, that's why.
Is that why you finished so strong? Do you think it was that change that made the difference for you last year?
Yeah, that was pretty much everything, because that made me feel comfortable on the mound, and he allowed me to repair my mechanics.
All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're very young, but again, isn't this a game of adjustments? And that seemed to be what you were able to do in September?
Yeah, it is. That's why they say baseball is so hard, because you have to keep making adjustments. It doesn't matter how many years you had in the big league, you always have to make adjustments, especially for me, with the kind of mechanics that I have.
Ground ball heads to first base off the bat of Bird. Play made by Trumbo. Ubaldo, thanks. Good start, and we'll have a chance to talk to you as we roll along the spring. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Ubaldo Jimenez joining us, making the start. Nuno comes on, retires the side in a fourth. Sarasota, and for the Orioles, Yankees have the early 1-0 lead against them, and we'll see a multitude of pitchers obviously here early spring training.
Yeah, so Evan Rutski comes on. You know, had some elbow problems. I mean, last year Atlanta had him as a Rule 5 guy, but he had to come back to the Yankees. Of course, when he was over in Atlanta, he kind of said some things that the Yankees didn't like, but again, Atlanta thought he might be able to be one of those specialists, pretty good fastball, a little bit of a breaking ball, and comes out of Canada. So they said big body, cold weather pitcher. And again, I don't know if that plays in Atlanta, but it certainly, might play in New York. And again, you never can have too many lefties.
So Rutski will get a chance on the mound as Nuno got the Yankees out 1-2-3, and Green worked a couple of innings, giving up just one hit.
Well, Nuno pitched like his car is running, and he's going to run out of gas if he doesn't get out of there and go to wherever he's going.
Voted by broadcasters as one of their favorite pitchers of all time. Here is Jonathan Schoop, Orioles second baseman. First ball hit left field. Wind blowing out, and goodbye home run.
Well, how about
Hicks never even turned around as Hicks saw where it was going out there in left field and just stared in at home plate, and the ball ended up over the bleachers out there.
Oh, I tell you what, he picked me up. Some clouds today. It was completely clear early on. But Jonathan Schoop, he will get on a plane and go play in the World Baseball Classic for the Netherlands. He's going all the way to Korea, and that's kind of where that ball headed. Well, maybe it was a little bit south of Atlanta where he's going to fly out of. 15 hours to get to Korea.
Expect some of that this year from Jonathan Schoop. He has got the power. Young man who really physically is just now developed. And he got a hold of this one, and it was gone.
Well, there goes Rutski, and there goes the ball. Inside middle. Really nice swing. Bat head to it. Souvenir.
Jonathan gets his first home run of the spring. On the ground, Chris Johnson playing at third base. High throw down on the bag. Nice play by Refsnyder. Andujar's throw pulling him off the bag, but it was right straight up in the air, and he came down on it and records the out. So Johnson is retired.
Yeah, again, I think it's Andujar. They keep switching numbers and whatever, all those kind of games, but he gets to it quickly, but didn't make a good throw. And there's a Refsnyder, as we said, playing first base, moving around. Oh, and you got Starling Castro coming off the kind of year he had. You better learn another position.
Yeah. Pretty good chance you're not going to get shots there. Rutsky will work to Castillo. Is the Orioles' new catcher. We obviously extend our best wishes to Matt Wieters. Matt joining the Nationals, so it'll be interesting to be able to keep track of what's going on with the former Oriole catcher pretty easily.
Well, we do, I mean, obviously do separate broadcasts, but the same network. Maxson does both the Nationals. I guess they're going over there to do one of the games in the new ballpark that they share with the Astros.
Yeah. He'll take the pitch, and it will be outside.
I have been by. I will try to frequent that ballpark this week when I get back over to West Palm Beach. It's right off 95 and 45th Street. Great
to have baseball back there, where it had been so popular in spring training wise for so many years, a real hub.
Yeah, well, they have, the Jupiter has the Cardinals and the Miami Marlins. Yeah. So now you got 4 teams all within about maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Chopper out in front of the plate will go to short. Mateo makes the play. Castillo, one of those going to the World Baseball Classic that we have talked about. And here are the numbers for the Orioles. These are the players going. Castillo goes to the Dominican Republic. Gibbons and Jones are going to play for Team USA. Manny Machado with the DR. Nuno is going to play for Mexico. They'll be playing in Guadalajara. Jonathan Schoop's going to be playing for the Netherlands. Of course, he's from the islands, which is part of the Netherlands. So Buck Showalter. It's a little different spring every 4 years with the WBC being played and these players coming out of camp. And it can be for an extended period of time if they go on winning. The World Baseball Classic will begin with a game on March 6th. It'll take place in Seoul, South Korea. And it could go as long as the 22nd of March if you win and go all the way to the final game.
Yeah, and the first game for the Orioles is April 3rd.
Yeah.
It's kind of those, double-edged swords. Buck and when you talk to the players, they are very proud to represent their country. I mean, without a doubt. And, for the manager, he's going, well, I want them to win. Don't want them to get hurt. Want them to get back here as quickly as they can. And I think, again, because, as you mentioned, Gary, longer spring training, players get bored.
Yeah.
And they won't get bored playing in the WBC.
Yep. Yeah, it's a tough call. Buck we were talking about that this morning as far as at bats for players like Jonathan Schoop and Wellington Castillo. Buck said, I'm asking them every day, you're getting enough at bats. He's giving them more at bats in these early games than he otherwise would because he wants them to be ready for the WBC. So the guys play a little longer here. Remember, we're in February, for Lord's sake, playing baseball games, exhibition games, which is very early. He will take the walk, so that's what Smith can do a lot of. Yankees have got a laundry list of guys who are going to be going to the Baseball Classic. There it is. I won't read the whole thing, but you can see you've got some names on there. Betances, Severino, Clippard, Didi Gregorius at the top, and Lane. You got guys who are important to the Yankee team.
Yeah, well, Gregorius is the only regular there, but Severino he's one of those 5 guys. He pitched well yesterday. He's trying to make the club as a starter. I think you'd rather have him do it in Tampa. Yeah. With Larry Rothschild looking on, but guys want to play for their teams. It's fun.
Yep. That'll be fouled away by Adam Jones.
Well, Gary, I mean, you live in Sarasota, among other places, because you're a well-traveled guy. And,
thank you so much.
But that a lot of the regulars, the third week, they go, boy, I can't wait to
get out of here.
Get out of here because I'm ready.
Yeah.
Again, I think the WBC maybe allows you to focus a little bit more, which is what you have to do in early April.
And they try and protect the pitchers. There are pitch limits on how many pitches can be thrown in the WBC games, changing on the basis of how deep you go into it. But they do try and protect pitches, and Buck and all managers and GMs are talking with the managers of the WBC teams as to how they want their players to be used, and more importantly, what they don't want done with their players. So that goes on all the time, and I love it. Great tournament.
Well, I mean, just imagine. I know you're going to do it again this year, and you did it with the last 2 times.
I did them all.
Yeah, right. But I mean, just imagine if you're Michael Gibbons. You're a converted infielder. you know, you had a terrific year, and all of a sudden you get to represent your country, and you get to make that team, and you get to play with. It's kind of like, to me, it's almost like another version of the All-Star game.
It is, yeah,
but
or
much
the
more
Olympics.
meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah. Runner on at first base here. 1-1 ball game. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be put up in the air to center field. 360 turn by Fowler, but he's got it lined up, and he will put it away. Jones is retired. Orioles tied the ball game up. Jonathan Schoop leading it off here in the third inning. Delivers his first spring training home run. That one coming off the left-hander to tie it up at 1. There are bound to be little hiccups, hopefully only little ones when it comes to the injury department. Orioles, you saw Zach Britton. He's okay now, and here's the rest of the list.
Yeah, so Tillman played long catch and threw today, not off the mound. J.J. Hardy, just about 4.5 weeks ago, reached over, and all of a sudden, you know, one of the just kind of had back spasms. Michael Bourne, what a freak accident. Orioles, you know, he played so well in the month of September. Andrusic running better. He has not a high leg sprain, but on his right leg, his push-off leg. But he was running today, trying to do some throwing.
And the pitch will be fouled away by Judge. Judge, who got the RBI for the Yankees on a fielder's choice.
Well, that's huge because he came up last year, and as we mentioned, just as you mentioned, he hit the ball about 475 feet. I mean, he's 6'7", 275, but he hits a home run in his first game, and then over 84 at bats, strikes out 42 times. So the mere fact, with a runner at third, less than 2 outs, with the infield back, he puts the ball in play. Good thing for the Yankees.
Yep, got to get the little things done as well as the big things, and Judge is a big thing. You got a little thing.
Well, you know, it's funny, as a big guy, and you know, Frank Howard is probably the biggest hitter I ever faced at 6'8", 275. He said he watched film of big hitters. And what he saw, all the good guys, and you know, not everybody that was 6'8", but you can't separate the top half from the bottom half. Good hitters use their whole body. Your legs are your foundation. So that's kind of what he's focusing on.
I've lived my life by that rule, and so far it's worked. That one foul back, and a ball and 2 strikes. Nuno getting a look here, and he'll have a lot of chances in spring training as the Orioles. Saw Roger McDowell, the new pitching coach, earlier. They really want to get a look at him and see where the fit may be for the Orioles down the line. Jammed him, had to pull his hands in a little bit on that one. Kim will move in. Oh, lost it in the sun. Ball drops back near the warning track. Judge is on his way to third base, and we'll get a Florida high in the sky triple.
Well, there's the travail of spring training. Now, I don't know if he ever gets the glasses down. Obviously, they're not down now, but I mean, this is Florida. So again, you know, it's kind of routine. I mean, it's not anywhere close where he thinks it is, because I mean, look where he is. Ball almost hits on the warning track. But I'm not sure he ever got the glasses down. No. Might, if you're going to have them on your hat, you might want to put them on,
because the glare is pretty substantial.
You know, and again, I mean, I never played the outfield, but I did a lot of shagging. If you don't see the ball off the bat, you are in big trouble.
Get out of the way. So it goes as a triple for Judge, and Refsnyder up with the runner on at third base as the Yankees pick up their 4th hit of the ball game. Nuno working in his 2nd inning, and that's just one of those you wish you had back if you can. Now the job of Refsnyder, somehow, some way, get that run in from third base.
Yeah, and the Orioles will come in, what, about halfway, maybe? You know, Judge, big guy. Well, maybe a step or two. But again, you know, we saw him the first time. He hit a routine ground ball, but he stays inside the ball. So he wants to get the runner in now. Don't leave it to the next guy.
Refsnyder will take one that just, it's there on the outside corner for the strike. So
well,
a big strikeout.
The one thing Nuno can do, and we saw him do it to Judge, of course he got a bad call from him not being able to see it, is he can pitch in and away. And there's outside corner, cuts it back. Look at Castillo. A little bit of a kind of a high five from a catcher, which is throw the glove at you. Nice pitch.
A big strikeout. Infield moves in even further now with one away. And Tejada at the plate. Ruben Tejada grounded out his first time up. Judge not getting a big lead off third base. Chris Johnson, the Oriole third baseman, pretty close over there. That'll be in foul territory down the line. And also a busted bat, so he'll go back to get another one. Orioles will see a number of pitches scheduled to go today. Parker Birdwell, Oliver Drake. Birdwell's in, Drake, Hart. That'll be Jed Bradley expected to go for the Orioles. Trying to get no more than 2 innings out of the starters, and then generally an inning out of those who come in after. Although for Nuno, Buck Showalter wanted to see him for a couple of innings. So that's what he's doing here in this game. Nuno's delivery will catch the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, so in and out, change speeds, you know, get exactly where you want. He's not a strikeout guy, even though 58 2/3 innings last year, only walked 11, so he throws a lot of strikes. 67 hits, more than 1 an inning. But again, 51 strikeouts, so not a bad number. And he's looking for a punch out here or a pop-up.
Tejada will go to third. Runner will stay. Johnson makes sure as he looks and makes the play. Well, the runner remains at third base here. Now there are 2 down. Experience Oriole Park in an exciting new way when you pick up the 5-bagger suite package. One low price, you get a fully catered suite, 5 games, and including games against the Yankees or Red Sox, plus parking, drinks, VIP treatment, and more. Great way to entertain clients, colleagues, or yourself. Call 410-547-6173 or go to Orioles.com/suites. Andujar 2 down. Judge still remaining on at third base. Great work by Nuno if he can get out of this, having the leadoff triple.
What's a nice little test?
Yeah.
You know, fly ball ends up being a triple. Get to work on, what you might have to work on during the year, but also not walk anybody. Get the big inning going.
Andujar way out in front of that one on the off-speed pitch, will foul it away. Good off-speed delivery, had him hacking on a fastball that wasn't.
Straight changeup, but boy, what a wonderful pitch it is. Every time I see Scotty McGregor, won 18 games for the Orioles, 20 games for the Orioles, you realize how important that pitch can be. There's Mac.
Talking a little pitching down there. And that is just off the inside corner. Pretty good look right there. We said Roger McDowell, of course, is the new pitching coach. Alan Mills is the new bullpen coach. And Howie Clark is the assistant hitting coach now. Changes for the Orioles in the coaching department under Buck. Check swing. Over near the loaded dugout, fouled off the front of the screen.
Yeah, well, Roger McDowell actually played on the 96 Orioles that went to the wild card. And, of course, you saw him when he was with the Mets, outstanding reliever. Alan Mills played on those teams, 96, 97 for the Orioles. He's been down at Double-A Bowie. Howie Clark, minor league roving hitting instructor, and around the minor leagues the last couple of years.
Down to third base. Hop taken by Johnson. Over to first, and a good job by Nuno. Leadoff triple by Judge. He ends up being stranded there, and the game stays 1-1. January, but it's actually a beach day. Temperatures up into the mid-80s today. So out on Sarasota Beach, a good time to be there. And if not there, a good time to be here. And you can see a lot of folks have decided to do that. Out of Mexico, Giovanni Gallegos.
Yeah, last year actually had some glowing numbers down at AAA in Scranton, 5-1, low ERA, used out of the bullpen, 6-2 in Obregon, Mexico. So again, he will also represent Mexico in the World Baseball Classic. An opportunity to show his stuff today.
AA, AAA last year, and the combined record of 7-2.
Yeah, you know, you look, yeah, Gary, I mean, he signs back, what, 2012. They use him as a starter. Second year, 16 games, 16 starts, and then all of a sudden the progression to the bullpen. It usually says maybe doesn't have 3 pitches. So again, that's what spring's about. I still remember when I was 19, trying to let everybody know I was an Oriole. You know, a chance to impress the manager and the pitching coach.
Gallegos, strikeout pitcher in the minors, will go up high with a fastball here to Manny Machado. He had 106 strikeouts in 78 innings last season and had a real solid whip of .83. That was AA and AAA. Manny will take the pitch outside. Manny ready to roll for the Dominican, and obviously smiles whenever he knows he's going to be playing at shortstop. Not that he doesn't like third, and obviously he's been great there, but he loves playing short. That's where he came up in the minors.
When he played it well last year when J.J. Hardy had the broken left foot.
Manny grounded out his first time up. Ritzky's delivery will be popped up. Shallow left field, very high. Hicks will put it away for the out. One away, 4th inning. Our next telecast coming up will be Sunday, Philadelphia Phillies. Coverage on MASN will begin at 1 o'clock. You can log on to MASNsports.com all spring long for news and notes about Orioles spring training. So March 5, Sunday, 1 o'clock, it'll be the Phillies. Only play the Yankees. The Orioles do 3 times, and this is the only time the Yankees come here. Orioles go to Tampa on Thursday for part of a split squad game, and then they'll be back up there on March 18, which Buck Showalter, as far as the few games, doesn't mind at all. Buck was talking this morning about how he really dislikes playing spring training games against division opponents. And it's not because he's trying to hide anything, he said. He said we see each other so much, everybody knows what you've got. He said it's just that we see so much of these division teams during the year, you really get kind of tired of it. And you'd rather play somebody else here in spring training. So with the Yankees, only 3 games. Davis, a walk his first time up. Chris with that shift on against him in the outfield, very deep. Breaking ball, off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was, it's a good way to maybe look at the guys you're going to have to play. Again, when you play all the division games, 18, 19 games against each of the teams, you get to learn them. Of course, they get to learn you. One of the hardest things to do is back-to-back games against a team. But we used to go all the way from Miami to Fort Myers when we played the Kansas City Royals, and they had Amos Otis, they had Willie Wilson with 230 hits, Brett McRae, really good. Al Cowens, and you get all the way over there, 3.5-hour bus ride. They swing at the first pitch, and you knew they never do that during the season. It never happened once, and they would try to fake you out a little bit. Because they had tee times.
Exactly.
They had things to do.
Exactly.
But at the last couple of years, if you remember, go back a couple of years ago, Chris Tillman can flat out pitch, yet he really did not have a good year against Toronto. I would have wanted to pitch the next spring against Toronto just to see if I could get him out.
Yep.
Because it wasn't working the year before.
2-2 delivery on the way and a fastball that just misses. Gallegos thought he had that. Davis refusing to bite on it. And as we said, that may be something opposing pitchers are going to have to get used to, is that Chris, one of those pitches that he may have gone after last year, not going after this year, and more willing to take that free pass. Gallegos delivery to him, another off-speed pitch, breaking ball. He got that one in.
Yeah, you're not looking for that pitch. It drops off a nice little hook, and it was a good one. You're hitting off 92, 93, and check this out. And nicely framed by Romine.
Kuba.
Going. Well, you know, I'll tell you what. At least he put everybody on notice. He'll do that.
Orioles hitting coach, who has a great sense of humor. Here's Trumbo hit into a double play his first time up. There goes after the first pitch. He will foul that one back.
He'd even have a better sense of humor if they would walk a few more times and strike out a little bit less.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he'd be one of the funniest guys you could ever meet.
The Orioles did not get the on-base percentage up quite where they wanted it last year. That was a big thing. Buck Showalter always has a couple of things that he reminds players of in spring training over and over and over, and it's kind of a key to the spring training for him. That on-base percentage was one of them. And while they did improve on it a little bit, they did not get to where they want to be. So it's another issue this year for the ball club to try and get a little better. And you want to do that when you're a home run hitting team, because you want the Euro Weaver 2 or 3 run shots.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to hit home runs. I mean, Camden Yards, I thought it would be higher on the home run chart as far as ballparks, but it's up there. So again, it's a homer-friendly ballpark. You got guys that are big and strong. You know, they're very aggressive hitters. You know, Kim Waite's on deck. I mean, he probably had the highest on-base percentage at a 382, I think, last year. But then again, he's not a home run guy. Trumbo said yesterday, how can I cut down on my strikeouts by 30? And I said, know what you want to hit till you get to 2 strikes. Then you got to scuffle.
You own the at bat until you get to 2 strikes.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of hitters, and you know, I mean, and I said the other thing is, he's a pretty analytical guy. I said, you got to cut out the paralysis by overanalysis.
Stop thinking.
Yeah, right. Too much. Well, I learned that from Hank Bauer, my first manager. Stop thinking and just throw that high fastball.
Trumbo with a 2-ball 2-strike count on him takes it. That'll miss. That was one of Yogi Berra's great lines. How, said Yogi, can you hit and think at the same time?
Right.
He questioned that.
Yeah, well, multitasker. I couldn't chew gum and pitch. I couldn't do both.
So you go to the old see it, hit it.
Well, and he did.
And he did very well.
All the way to the Hall of Fame, 3-time MVP.
3-ball 2-strike count with 2 down. Trumbo, he'll hold up and will draw a walk as a result. So the Orioles have picked up a walk on one each on the 3 Yankee pitches so far.
And the other thing right there, you could see his approach was, okay, wait for the ball to travel. So that was a ball just off the outside corner. I mean, if you're being really aggressive, you're trying to pull the ball versus maybe hit the ball the other way, you maybe wave it that way. Now all of a sudden, you get Kim at the plate, already with a base hit.
Kim the single. Ended up trying to extend it into a double. Got thrown out by Judge in right field at second base. 2 down, runner on at first. And the pitch is going to miss down low for a ball.
Good pitch.
Kim up there with the on-base percentage and in pitches seen. The Orioles swung at the first pitch a lot. In fact, only Houston and Tampa Bay swung at first pitches more than the Orioles did last year. Well, not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it isn't. I mean, Adam Jones swung at what? He led the American League, or maybe Major League Baseball, 44% of the time to first pitch. For a lot of guys, that's their highest average.
Yeah.
So if it's your pitch, what's wrong with it?
Nothing.
You know, I mean, if you get your pitch, that's what you want to do.
1-ball 1-strike delivery on the way to him. Another breaking ball off speed. Gallego's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, missed outside with that, and a 2-ball 1-strike count on him.
Well, the American League in baseball found out about Kim is that, you know, he started out 0 for 23 in spring training, had a little trouble with velocity, and then all of a sudden he was on the fastball by the end of the year. So what did they do? Change-ups, slow curveballs. But he can get to the fastball. He made a nice adjustment.
2-ball 1-strike count. Orioles have a runner at first base, a big chopper that hit out in front of the plate. Tejada will make the play over to Refsnyder at first base, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Couple of home runs, 1 for each team. 1-1. spring training season, and we get to see yet another Oriole arm.
Yeah, Jed Bradley comes on. They acquire him from Atlanta. You could see the numbers last year as a starter, not a particularly hard-throwing guy. And you can see he actually pitched for the Braves briefly. So again, high leg kick, not a hard thrower, 87, 89, slider change up, turns it over. And again, one of these guys that has primarily, at least in most years, been used as a starter. And there have been a couple of years because of the lack of the power arm. They've used him both out of the bullpen on occasional starts.
Here is Dustin Fowler. Fowler at a base hit and a stolen base. First time up, lefty on lefty here. Mateo and then Hicks due up as the Yankees will turn the order over here in the inning. Home run by Romine in the first inning. Jimenez gave him a 1-0 lead. The Yankees had the lead until Jonathan Schoop delivered a leadoff homer in the third inning, his first of the year. And a 1-1 game. 1-4-0 for the Yankees, 1-2-0 for the Orioles. Kim, the other hit for the O's, a single. Fowler will take the pitch outside. 2-1 strike count. Defense even up on Fowler, who's getting the start in center field. As the Yankees do not have the left and right fielders, left and center fielders rather, who will be starting the season for them this year. And Gardner and Ellsbury.
Yeah, Ellsbury's wife giving birth. Congratulations. I think last Friday. So I'll be staying home and getting some at bats.
3-1 delivery on the way, and that one's going to miss. So Fowler draws a leadoff walk here in the fifth inning. That is the first walk surrendered by an Oriole pitcher. Single game tickets for the upcoming season are on sale. Don't miss your chance to lock in the best seats to the top games. Great weekend series, promotional events, the Orioles Maryland flag replica jersey day, a Manny Machado starting lineup figures, Zach Britton, Jonathan Schoop bobbleheads, and a whole lot more. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Here's Mateo, flied out to center field his first time up. He's at short off the end of the bat and the front foot on that swing, so not a lot of drive to it. Adam Jones coming over. He will put it away, and Fowler will head back to first base.
Yeah, Jed Bradley, a little sigh of relief, walks the first batter. Obviously, you don't want to do that, and then throws one, gets it up. It looks like at 85, that's where he's maxed out with the fastball. He wants to pitch down, but gets it out. And I'd love to throw a quality pitch, maybe turn a double play.
See if he can get it here with Hicks, the leadoff batter. Hicks has grounded out and flied out. Aaron Hicks getting the start in left field for the Yankees. Yankees finished up last season 9 games out. They were 84 and 78. Orioles were only 4 games behind the leader, 89 wins and 73 losses on the year. The Orioles finishing up, of course, with the heartbreaker, the wild card game, and again emphasizing why regular season's so important, to go after that division win and not have to play that one game that everything is decided on in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, if you're way back, and again, 89, what the Red Sox won 93, I believe. So what, 4 more than them, and that's not way back. So it does, it feels like, yeah, if I could have done a little bit better, I would have had a little bit longer to work with.
There's that ground ball you wanted. Machado to Schoop over to first base, and there's the double play. No runs, no hits, no errors. Despite a leadoff walk out of the inning, facing only 3. it's the long ball that's made the difference in the ball game, and it's Dad that makes the difference in the water when I got my little floaty going. There are the blue skies, some high clouds. We said 83 degrees. The start of the ball game here in Sarasota, the spring training home of the Orioles. This is the 8th season. Incredibly, the Orioles have been here. It doesn't seem as though it could have been that long. 7th that they've worked here in this renovated ballpark, which has won awards as the top spring training facility and used Gulf Coast League and for high school and tournaments for kids of all ages, as this is a yard that gets used a lot.
Well, it's such a great complex, and Sarasota, as you know, having been a resident, we used to come here. The White Sox trained here, Red Sox instructional league, all the way back into the '60s. Always been a great baseball town, and the people are so nice. Not that they aren't nice in other towns. I don't want anybody to think that, but they're just. When we go around the league, some places you go, they're just so happy to be there at the ballpark. But everywhere you go, your restaurants, movies, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a lot of art.
Traffic
has really picked up the years I've been here. That ball fouled straight back. I'll get you later.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
It's too close for comfort right
Well, Jonathan needs to do, if he's going to almost line one into the booth, he needs to do what he did off of Rutsky, which is to hit it towards Aaron Hicks, who never saw it, and then the next thing you know, it's way over. So right about there.
Right there. Stay away. It was right here, and we don't need any more of those up here. Jonathan, wicked breaking ball. Play's got to be made at first. Gallegos with a real bender right there gets the strikeout.
Well, that's what he was able to do, and he was so good. We mentioned last year he pitched a AA and AAA, and that's Trenton and then Scranton. That again, before they made all the trades, you had Miller, you had Betances, and then you had Chapman. So this is the pitch they go. He throws a lot of strikes. He's got a pretty good breaking ball. He's able to throw that pitch, which is really strike the ball because he got ahead. He thought he was going to come to the big leagues, never did. So you just never know. Arm injury, about 2 or 3 years ago, and that kind of stopped the project. But he throws a lot of strikes, keeps the ball in play.
Johnson up and will take the pitch for a ball. As we said, with J.J. Hardy out, movement short and third with Manny moving over to shortstop. J.J. will be back somewhere around the 10th of March. He's going to be okay. And part of it is with this long spring training for some of the veterans, managers, not just Buck, but others, are going to hold him out. That one driven fairly deep, not quite to the warning track. Fowler goes back, and Johnson is retired. Spring training nowadays, there aren't a lot of spots open. The few that are there have many vying.
Well, I look at this, conglomeration of players, and I'm going, you got Giavitelli, who's, about a 260 lifetime hitter. Giannis, we know he can hit. Johnson, about 3 years ago, almost won the batting title. So you had a lot of guys, and then you got the pitchers coming in. We've seen Bradley today. Zach Stewart didn't pitch that well the other day, but he's pitched in the big leagues. Again, Francisco Pena, he can catch. His dad coached for the Yankees. So there are a lot of young players, and Buck's going to get to see them probably more than normal.
Yep, with a long spring training in the WBC. And that will be handled on the pop-up by Castillo to the opposing catcher Romine. A 1-2-3 inning. Ball game remains 1-1.
The DQ $5 lunch is
Spring training game here in Sarasota. And Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. And great to have you joining us for our first broadcast of the year. The Orioles with a lot of changes, one on the mound.
Yeah, Parker Bridwell, who actually made it all the way to the big leagues last year, briefly. There are the numbers, and they were good ones. Again, you know, 90, 92. He's got a little cutter, breaking ball to go with it, change up. And they're always, as we mentioned, looking for pitchers.
Bradley got an inning in and gave up only one walk. This is the fourth pitcher to be used by the Orioles. Austin Romine, he has picked up a single, scored on a fielder's choice ground ball. That one will go to short, where Robert Andino is now playing. Over to first base, where Washington is now playing. And there are one away here in the inning. Jonathan Schoop joins us. Jonathan, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm very well. Talk a little bit about the WBC. You're going to go play the Netherlands since you're out of Curacao, and what's that about for you?
I think that's a good thing for me and for my country. You know, we are really smart. You know, and we want to put the country a little bit more in the map. You know, so the scout go down there. You know, get more guys. You know, because there's a lot of good talent down there.
So that you're going to Korea. That home run you hit kind of headed towards Korea. It was kind of an early start. So what, you told us it was 15 hours? So
yeah, Kim told me it's like 15 hours, something like that, but I hope it's 12.
Well, it'll be a lot quicker coming back because the winds will be with you.
Yeah.
Especially if you guys play well. I mean, who are some of your teammates? You're talking about some of them today. Pretty good lineup.
Yeah, we got a pretty good team. You know, we got Bogart, Profar, Simmons, and Didi is going, you know, and we got a pretty good team, you know. And all around those guys, we have some hungry guys too. You know, they want to show off their ability. You know, and I think we're going to be good.
Bird delivers a double off the wall, played in by Alvarez, who's now playing in right field. Take a look here, the number of changes. So you got Rickard, Gentry, and Alvarez now in the outfield. Johnson stays in, and Dino, Giovatello, Washington, and Pena the changes.
Yeah, so Jonathan, you know, again, I mean, nice year last year, 25 home runs, up from 15. I know it's early, and I know you're going off the WBC, but what are you looking forward to be able to accomplish in the next month?
I'm looking for, you know, get better pitches to it. You know, like the Tuesday game I was in, you know, I do that a little bit, you know, and my last at bat you see there, you know, I chase a little bit, and I'm trying to eliminate those, you know, at bat. You know, I know they coming, but if I can eliminate more, you know, my season gonna be better. You know, just look for the pitch in the zone and don't try to chase too much.
Well, you think that'll cut down on the strikeouts a little bit?
Yeah, it will. It will cut on strikeout, and I think the walk will go higher a little bit. You know, if I just don't chase much, you know, just go in there and just go in there to hit, but you know, trying to get a good pitch to it, not chase too much.
Ground ball comes back to the mound. They got to play at third base. Throw is on the money. Johnson will put the tag on. Good throw by Bridwell that time. He gets the out on Bird. Well, Judge at first.
Yeah, that's the second time he has gotten thrown out. A nice little cutter right here. You get the check swing and heads up play right here by Parker Bridwell, because again, Bird ran himself out of scoring position the last time after he hit a double. So back-to-back doubles and then not good base running.
Jonathan, each year Buck usually emphasizes 1, 2, or 3 things for players among spring training. Is there any emphasis that you felt this season that he's asking the club to do?
You know, I think we just got to believe in each other more. You know, I think that's the strength of us. You know, we got good defense, good in, and everything overall. You know, we're a team that we believe in each other and we trust each other. You know, and you know, if I don't do good, you know, I hope the other guy behind me do good. You know, if I don't drive him in, I want him to drive him in. You know, I think the chemistry is really good on this team. You know, we just got to keep working on and do the things we're not so good at it and trying to get better in everything.
Can I ask you one question, and then we'll let you go? Yesterday, you actually got the Orioles out of an inning on a great relay throw, base hit to right field, and you picked the runner off third base. Does it get boring doing the drills? Because you do them every day, and Buck is a pretty good taskmaster. You got to do them right, don't you?
Yeah, you got to do it right. You know, I don't get boring. You know, I think you have to even if you're good at it, you just got to get better. You know, every year you got to improve a little bit more. You know, and you know, if you do it, it get more, you know, easier. You know, easier. If you keep practicing, it's get easier.
Jonathan, appreciate it. Have a great time, WBC, and a great year. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
How about that catch? That was Robert Andino going out there hauling that one in. Runner left stranded.
Sir.
Nice 1-1 ball game as the pitchers primarily dominating here so far. We'll look at another from the Yankees.
Yeah, again, a big guy, 6'3", 190 pounds. Last year pitched in A ball for him and did a nice job. So everybody seems, again, out of the bullpen, and was able to finish 14 games, all out of the bullpen. We'll get to see him for the first time.
Marsh coming out of Clinton, Tennessee, 25-year-old. Went to college, Liberty University. Ready to rock and roll for another year?
Me?
You.
Yeah. This is my first interview of the spring. So.
Yeah, you're from Mississippi.
Probably a little rusty.
Because you really be able to rock and roll if you're from Memphis, but you are from Mississippi.
Seth, you got picked up with the Orioles here, and Buck generally lays down what they're looking for. Do you have a sense of what the Orioles are after out of you this season?
I haven't had a conversation about it. I assume they traded for me, and I've been around a little while, so they're probably not trying to change anything that I do, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
So I just go in the spring trying to prepare myself to play and give good at bats and help out on defense and base running also.
Have you ever, have you ever trained in Florida before?
First time.
Yeah. So, Arizona can be a lot. I grew up there, so it can be a little bit cooler, a little drier. Yeah, are you liking Sarasota?
Yeah, this is a lot more similar to home in Mississippi. The humidity and the warm temperatures, they are different. The little bit I've been out here, and it's much more windy down here in the 2 games I've played in. So it'll be different, but it's spring training, and you approach it as such, and you just get yourself ready to play in April.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and a breaking ball that will be bounced in the dirt. Tell us how you came to find out you were going to be with the Orioles, and what your reaction was, what you knew about the team.
Yeah, well, a guy like me, in my experience, I pretty much sit around the offseason waiting to see who I get traded to, and not knowing when it's going to come. But so I think this one was it in January? I think it was in January, and excited to join a ball club. It's been to the playoffs a good bit lately. A team that makes some noise, and you hear about them throughout the year, and they're always in the thick of things. A great lineup and a team that's put together really well.
You played pretty well against them.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at your numbers, and the Orioles kind of came into Seattle, and I guess they did a number on San Diego, and all of a sudden they lose 4 in a row, and you were one of the big culprits. You had home runs in all 4 games.
Well, yeah, they called me at the right time or the wrong time for the Orioles, but that was a fun 4 days for me, and anytime you're squaring up the ball, you're excited about it.
Are you looking forward to playing in Camden Yards? I mean, the numbers aren't glowing. You haven't played a lot of games there. You did play in Colorado early on. Seems like you hit pretty much everywhere when you're the home hitter.
Yeah, it seems like a great place to hit. The little time I've spent as a visiting player there, I've enjoyed hitting there. Every ballpark's got its pros and cons, and you kind of fill them out as you get going. And so you see how the ball flies and where there's space in the outfield and how the infield rolls, and a lot of different things that go into it. But ultimately, you just step in the batter's box, and it's you versus the pitcher, and you're trying to square the ball up.
Well, we welcome you to the Orioles, Seth. Great to have you on board. Have yourself a great season, and we'll get a chance to talk with you as we roll along here in the spring. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. So Seth Smith, who was in the lineup walking a fly ball out today, led off the ball game for the Orioles, getting the start in right field. Giavotella in the lineup now, batting in the number 2 spot. He's going to go the same way Gentry did, and a couple of strikeouts recorded by Marsh. So here's the Yankees look right now with Chow, Crawford, and Frazier, Culver, Avellino, Estrada, and Deglin, with Castillo working behind the plate. So they've pulled all of the starters out of there. And Mark Trumbo is out of there for the Orioles. Mark back in the lineup. I said, to me, the biggest surprise for the Orioles this year is the fact that they were able to get Mark re-signed and back in the lineup. That one's going to be pumped to right center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So, Mark, were you as surprised as many of the fans were that you're back with the Orioles?
I don't think I was that surprised. It was kind of what I was hoping for all along. It did take a while, but when you're kind of, I think sometimes when your focus is trying to get somewhere, you can find a way to make it happen.
Well, you certainly did. It's funny. I mean, I met your agent when we were out playing the Dodgers, and you know, he said, yeah, you know, a lot of money. And you looked at me and you said, I'm going to get a 3-year deal. I'm going to get a good salary. And it appears that's what you got.
Yeah, I guess it kind of turned out that way. There's a lot of opinions that go into, you know, what people think is right for certain players, and I kind of felt that was probably where I might end up, realistically speaking. Obviously, everyone wants, you know, a super long and grand deal, but I thought that made sense for me.
Why back with the Orioles for you that makes you happy? What is it that does that for you?
I just think you know, it's the right place for me. I've played on a few different teams, and the success I had last year, I don't think was by coincidence. I think that this is just a better atmosphere for me personally.
Pitch taken down low. Chris Davis up.
Well, you know, it's funny when you signed, everybody said, well, you're going to get to play in Camden Yards. You're going to hit 40 home runs. Well, you hit 47, 25 of them at Camden Yards. We were just talking to Seth Smith. It is a pretty nice ballpark to hit in.
Well, yeah, Seth and the baby puppy and I were talking today about, you know, the ability to use right center field in Camden and use it to your advantage, and I think that's something that's going to pay off.
That one down the line, and it will be hauled in. So that'll do it. Davis is retired. Great to have Mike Trumbo back with the Orioles. Mike, thanks very much for taking time. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you along the way.
Thanks, guys.
Ball game remains tied at 1-1. Here at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota. Ball game tied at 1. There's your line for the ball game. Moving along here to the 7th inning, and Donnie Hart.
Yeah, look at those numbers. Buck Showalter, skipper of the Orioles, saying he hadn't missed a beat. Came in last year, 22 games, only 1 home run. Boy, you could still, I mean, I can go back in my mind's eye and look at the battles he had with David Ortiz, who had one of those monster years at age 40. Ortiz, of course, retiring, played with the Red Sox. So again, he throws strikes, he keeps the ball in the ballpark, he dominates left-handed hitters. You know, very deceptive windup. And again, right out of Double-A, right to the big leagues. And the other part of it is, if you are Dan Duquette, Vice President of Baseball Operation, to this point, inexpensive. And he gets the job done.
So I'll take a look at the left-hander going against the Yankees here. Estrada will get his first at bat. Coming on to play second base as we go to the 7th inning. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Fielder's choice RBI, Judge in the 1st inning, home run Schoop, Orioles in the 3rd, and those are the 2 runs up on the board. Got that one down the first base line, but it will be foul. Trying to hang in against Donnie Hart. When he drops down like that, you really need to have a look at him a few times in order to get some kind of a timing done on where that pitch is going to be coming from.
Right, especially if you're left-handed. And of course, he dominated left-handers last year. I mean, lefties only hit 132. A little different story. Righties at 292. So that'll be something they'll want to show Buck Showalter he can accomplish, getting right-handed hitters out.
And that one in the dirt, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Even though when you look at the makeup of the Oriole bullpen with Brock and with Givens and with O'Day and get to Zach Britton, you can be a left-handed specialist and be pretty significant part of the bullpen, as he was.
Yep.
Down the stretch.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and that one's going to go to first. Washington there to hang it, and a little soft line out to start the 7th inning. It's going to bring Culver to the plate. Cito Culver, he will get his first at bat.
Yeah, we talk so much, and I think Brian Mattis was a former #1 draft choice, and his job was to do what Donnie Hart did last year. And then, of course, when he was a starter, he was pretty good at getting both lefties and righties out, and then he lost that ability, and it makes it much more difficult to manage when you don't have a left-hander that can get right-handed hitters out.
Yep.
It just you use more pitchers, to be quite honest.
T.J. McFarland's name I have great place in my heart for TJ. He has been called on over the years by the Orioles to do everything, and in the course of it, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, to start, to relieve, sometimes to mop up, sometimes in very key situations. He is now out there as a player who can be signed, as he has gone through both sets of waivers, and the Orioles would like to get him re-signed.
Well, they're right, and the reason they released him is a business deal.
Yeah.
Arbitration number I think was $685,000, and obviously if you keep him and get him through waivers, that's what he makes. Now all of a sudden you can renegotiate that. I mean, it's one of the few times where the player really gets taken advantage of, but the Orioles are, from a business standpoint, doing what they can, but they would like to do what he's done when he hasn't been here. He's usually been down in AAA starting.
Yep.
And you can always use starting pitchers.
And he's done a great job for the Orioles when called on in all of those situations. So it'd be interesting to see if they can get a deal done and get him back in. Culver on the big cut, 2 ball, 2 strike count. Jimenez worked 2, a run on 3 hits. Nuno came on a couple of innings, just 1 hit. Bradley worked an inning for the Orioles, giving up nothing. Tyler Bridwell an inning and a hit. Now Donnie Hart on for the O's. Culver will go after that one, and a nasty pitch down and in.
Yeah, so the soft line drive and then a nice little breaking ball. So again, stay out of the middle of the plate. 88, 89, that's the fastball. And then right here, a little changeup gets him out on his front foot. Swings right over it.
Well located. So 2 down, nobody on. That'll bring up Crawford.
Well, we saw Vidal Nuno. That's what he did when he came in and pitched 2 effective innings. So, in and out, change speeds. Of course, he does not drop down like Donnie Hart.
Rashid Crawford now will have the tough job of trying to hit off this left-hander.
I mean, really, just imagine, and if you're Crawford, he is stepping right at you. He's got a little bit of an open stance. He's stepping right at your front leg, which is your right leg if you're a left-handed hitter.
Way down, and that's what you're inclined to do. That front foot wants to bail and go into the bucket, and trying to hang in is not easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's the angle. You kind of bend at the waist. That changes really the spine angle of a pitcher. I mean, that's what Darren O'Day does from the right side.
And Crawford one inside. That almost an unhittable pitch for a left-hander. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, I learned that a long time ago when Mike Flanagan went from being a Cy Young Award winner as a starter to a reliever. He said, hey, lefties have trouble with a sinker down and in.
You need a paddle in order to hit it if you're a left-handed hitter. It's just not a place you can get the bat to.
Right, it is. And what happens is, and I'm not saying that Crawford's, is Mo Vaughn or Boggs or Mattingly, some of the guys that Mike had to face. He said, but all the good lefties, they hang in there with the front shoulder. So you are susceptible to the sinker down and in. And it can be a very effective pitch.
2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down, nobody on. This time goes to the outside corner and will just miss with it. 3-2. Alan Mills, who has seen a lot of the left-hander, who will add substantially to the knowledge regarding the younger pitchers.
Yeah, he along with Roger McDowell will handle the bullpen and of course help with the starters.
3-2 delivery on the way, and a breaking ball is there, and he got him. Just laid that one in, and he could not pull the trigger. Good inning. 7th inning stretch time here in Sarasota. Yankees, Orioles, 1 apiece. New member of the Orioles coaching staff, Howie Clark, named the assistant hitting coach in February. He'll be along with the Orioles helping Scott Kuba.
Yeah, last year it was Mark Quinn, and now it's Howie.
So the Orioles here in the bottom half of the 7th inning will get a number of hitters up for the first time. Ariel Alvarez, one of those who will lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the pitch to him on the overhand delivery is in there for a strike. Marsh staying on for the 2nd inning of work. Green, Rutsky, Gallegos, and Marsh have worked on the mound for the Yankees. Had a reach on one that was down and away. Crawford in center will put that one away, and one down here in the 7th inning. So early scoring by both teams, but since then the pitchers been able to get the outs. Orioles have been able to pick up 3 walks off the Yankee starters. The Orioles have walked only 1. There haven't been many strikeouts here. 3 recorded by the Yankee pitchers and 3 by the Oriole pitchers. So ball's been put in play. Here's David Washington, who came on to play at first base. And Washington will take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, it looks like Marsh has a nice mix. And, again, anytime you get a relatively inexperienced pitcher, as we mentioned last year in A ball, only walked 17 in 55 innings. That's some pretty good base on balls to innings pitch with 61 strikeouts. So you like somebody that's that young and can throw strikes.
Washington with a big cut. He's got power. Big frame, big strike zone to work with here. Wants to pull the ball, shift on in the infield against him. May have broken the bat on that one. It'll go to center again. Crawford moves over a bit, puts it away. A couple of fly balls here in the 7th inning to Crawford in center, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, one of those days, if they get the ball up in the air, even though there haven't been a whole lot of them, Schoop's sailed out of here. Ball has a good chance to go, but if you jam them, it goes far enough to get to your outfielders. And it's only 1 run for each team.
And here's a fan favorite with the Orioles and a manager favorite as well, and why not? This is Robert Andino, signed back by the Orioles. Familiar with the work he has done, just a go out and get him kind of player. Choi moving over, diving, cannot get it. He'll be backed up by Crawford. Andino on his way to second base, and he will stay there as the relay throw comes in long. Andino thinks about third, but decides against the better of it, and Robert's got himself a double.
Well, Robert was always a good high fastball, and what does he get? High fastball, finds a gap, a huge dive right there. Still, he makes a belated dive for a ball up the gap.
Ji-Man Choi out there in left field, that close to it, but not close enough. So an RBI opportunity. 4th hit of the ball game by Andino. Chris Johnson has gone the distance at third base today. Johnson is grounded out and flied out. He'll look for the go-ahead RBI here in the bottom of the 7th inning off Marsh. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Orioles will put a couple people playing at third base. Ryan Flaherty, one of those who's getting some playing time there, but he is out as before the ball game. An injury report.
Well, yeah,
him.
it's just his throwing arm. I mean, it's really, it's not in the rotator cuff. It's just, may have stretched something. You just never really know. It is spring training. I think everybody kind of prevailing on the side of caution this early, especially as you mentioned with the World Baseball Classic. Another 4+ weeks.
Popped up in the air, first base side. Eglin coming down the line in fair territory will put it away. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base. We've completed 7 here in Sarasota. One of the game's best clubhouses in the spring training facilities here or in Arizona belongs right here, and the guys who work at keeping it that way and getting the guys out on the field are the Orioles. The Orioles crew, the clubhouse crew, constantly working. I mean, they are the guys who are here first and are the last to leave, taking care of all the equipment, making sure the right uniforms are out. Everybody's requests for this or that, for shirts and hats and stuff you got to wear underneath the uniform. It's a never-ending job, and they do a heck of a job with it.
Yeah, so take a look at Tanner Scott, the hard-throwing lefty. You know, last year it was about, lat injury. Look at the strikeouts, 81 and 64 in the third innings, but look at the walks, 40. Again, along with those hits, and actually was kind of using the locker next to him. And I said, I walked 30 and 129 innings. It's a matter of getting your innings, and that's what he needs to do.
And the pitch will be taken up high for a ball.
But
Salcedo's gone to shortstop for the Orioles, and Robert Andino moves over to third base. He'd been at short. That ball in the air to right field, hit pretty good. Alvarez has it lined up, perfectly positioned for it. Avellino is retired, one away. Opening day in Birdland, it's coming quickly. Get ready now as you can secure your spot with an Orioles full or partial plan. Season plan members, exclusive ticket savings, MLB's most flexible exchange policy, priority access to postseason tickets, and access to tickets for Orioles opening day. So don't miss it. Go to Orioles.com/season and make your plans. Not that far away as the Orioles open up at home.
No, it's the Blue Jays.
Yep. A lot of division games early on, as usual, to start the season, so you get a real good look.
I'm really sorry to see Edwin Encarnacion go to the Indians. I'm going to miss seeing him hit against the Orioles for 19 games.
He's already hit the ball hard in spring training for them.
That's what he does. Isn't that what Edwin does?
That's what he does. Choi at the plate. This is his first at bat, playing out in left field for the Yankees. Scott's delivery will bounce in the dirt in front.
Yeah, a little breaking ball, fastball as you've seen in the mid-90s.
2 ball, 1 strike count with 1 down, top of the 8th inning. And the ball game is tied up, has been since the 3rd inning when Jonathan Schoop delivered the homer to tie it up after the RBI by Judge on a fielder's choice in the 1st inning for the Yankees. Choi in 54 games last season, 112 at bats with the Yankees, 5 homers, 12 RBIs. Pitch will be taken up high. So not close on those, and that'll be a 1-out walk. Only the 2nd walk surrendered by the Oriole pitchers today. Big crowd, 6,969, 6,969. Castillo coming up. He is doing the catching now for the Yankees. Came in for Romine. And that is going to bring Pena out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher.
Yeah, and again, if you look at his numbers, and I was talking to him about this, I mean, he, in the minor leagues, all levels, 138 and 2/3 innings, 104 walks. So a little less than 1 an inning. Strikeouts, well, 174 and 138.2. So great arm, command problems. There's been some injury issues, but they use him out of the bullpen. So he really hasn't gotten him a lot of innings, and it's hard to really command your stuff. The more you're out there, the more you get for the touch and feel of pitching.
1-0 delivery, heat, and doesn't get the call on that one, and the count will go to 2-0. Orioles, of course, with a very strong bullpen, again expected coming into this season. No reason to believe it won't be. Maybe even stronger than one it finished up with last year, because Darren O'Day is going to come into the season healthy after not being able to pitch through the season last year. And the question again is going to be in the Orioles starters, whether or not they're going to be able to go deep enough in ball games to allow the bullpen to be used the way Buck Showalter would like to use it, which means not overused. The Orioles starters were 12th in innings pitched last season in the American League, and that meant the Oriole bullpen had to put in some extra time, and they were 4th in the league in innings pitched.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, again, we talked about what the Yankees are going to look for. They're going to look for somebody to get to Tyler Clippard and Dylan Betances and then Chapman. And
out in front, Pena comes back and will not have a play.
And then if you go back and you watch the way the playoffs, both Terry Francona and Joe Madden, the way they, Andrew Miller pitching for Cleveland, he was used in the 5th inning. Now, I don't know if you'll do that, but again, the transition from starter to bullpen just seems, and we saw it with Kansas City, getting earlier and earlier. And the Orioles have that kind of bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
But every year, and, Roger McDowell saying the same thing, we'd like to get a couple of extra outs from our starters. When you get into August and September, makes your bullpen healthier.
Great pitch over the top on that one. Broke down out of the strike zone, and he gets him on a K.
Yeah, you're not looking for this pitch when you're throwing 97. So it matters. It doesn't have to be a quality pitch. It can be a little bit of a change up, and it's a good one. He's reading fastball, trying to get ready for it, and way, way, way out in front.
Jorge Saez will be coming to the plate for the first time. Runner remains at first. Good scoop made by Pena. Yeah, I thought last year was really the first time. I mean, the bullpen's been important in postseason play to wrap up games, but last year we saw in the postseason what we see in the regular season, which had not happened a lot in postseason play, where the bullpen became as or more important than the starters. That one's going to bounce on a wild pitch, and that will move Chow down to second base. They got used earlier in games. They got used more often and for a longer period of time. It's kind of check on that and will here during spring training. But I have a feeling that last year, if you take the beginning game of the playoffs and go through the World Series, that the innings pitched by starters may have been the fewest ever in postseason.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Cubs would have been a little bit of an exception because they had 5 guys that had their ERAs were lower than the league average. There was only one other team in baseball, I think. Yankees had 3 guys that had, Sabathia, Tanaka, not Pineda, but there might have 2 guys that were below the league average. So you're always, you don't have that kind of quality starting.
Pitch is a strike called on the high strike that time.
And it also helps to make, again, if you go back and look what the Yankees did, they got 14 players for Beltran, Nova, Chapman, and Miller. They went from the 18th to the 14th to the second best farm system because of those trades. And then, of course, they re-signed Chapman. Betances, loses his arbitration case. That could be a little bit of a joke. Randy Levine, but I mean, he goes from 590,000 to $3 million, and he was their closer.
Yes.
And the amazing thing about the Yankees, they went 17-11 in the month of August after making all those trades. Mm-hmm. Kind of tells you how good a manager Joe Girardi is.
Pitch taken outside. Yeah, I mean, so they are going to be. They were one of the youngest teams when it finished up last year. The Yankees were one of the youngest teams age-wise in the American League. Ironically, right there is the Red Sox. I mean, the Red Sox are a team built now on youth with that core of the Pedroia type player out there, but they're really a very young team, and the Yankees are as well. Good job done by Scott. He gets the strikeout. Runner left stranded. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the game tied. If you listen to any of our broadcasts in the course of a season, when we see those deliciously delectable Orioles shirts, our day is complete. We want to thank the threesome for bringing those out, getting them ready. They are absolutely the smartest dress you can have for spring training and regular season games.
There you go. Protects the ears.
A little color in your baseball life.
So Joe Mantiply, he comes out of the Tiger organization. Again, you can look at those numbers. That's with the big league club. But once again, last year in the minor leagues, AA, AAA, very good numbers, especially AA. Big, tall left-hander out of Virginia. 6'4", over 200 pounds.
25-year-old who went to Virginia Polytech, where he played his college games, and Toledo, Erie, AA, AAA ball in Detroit last year. Hard shot from his knees high. Throw down on the bag and records the out. Well, Francisco Pena slapped it hard. The Yankees had to make two good plays in the infield in order to record the out.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if he's going to get up on his feet and throw, and he just throws, almost like a catcher. Caught it. I'm going, I got plenty of time. Right there. What's here? Why get up? Throws a little bit high. Pena doesn't run well. By the time you come down, nice little tag. Toe tag with the right foot.
Avital Avellino, who's playing at shortstop, made that throw from his knees, and Deglin over there at first base went up and hauled it in. Kellen Deglin back down on the bag to get the out. Nice play. This ground ball will go down to third. That is a foul ball. They'll bring that one on back. Gentry getting his second at bat for the Orioles. Called out on strikes his first time up.
Well, yeah, I think one of the things that we talked about, the fact the on-base percentage, it went up last year, but it was still down in the lower ranks of the American League teams that the Orioles compete against. So Gentry hits lefties, 275 lifetime hitter. He can run, he can steal bases, plus defender. Joey Rickard hit over 315 against lefties, but had the injury last year, so you're always looking for options.
Yep. Ground ball off the end of the bat. He got him to lean back a little bit. Estrada will make the play for the Yankees. And Gentry is retired, and there are two down. We'll bring up Giovitello. Now, the Orioles, despite all the home runs, obviously leading the world last year again in the long ball, when it came to total runs scored, the Orioles ended up 7th in the American League, and that's why we talk about, and why the Orioles talk about, the on-base percentage. You've got to get some more people on to go with the long ball. The solo home runs are a run, but even hitting as many as they did last year to finish in the middle of the pack in total runs scored is not good enough. 1-0 count. Johnny Giovitello will take the pitch on the outside corner. High strike that has been called all day by Chad Fairchild, and the count goes to 1-1. By the way, all that discussion about strike zone being changed, not going to happen. The strike zone will remain as it has been. Down to first and foul. As far as changes, my understanding as of Sunday, having talked with somebody at Major League Baseball, none of the changes, including the intentional pass now that's going to be 4 fingers instead of 4 pitches, none of that's official yet. They're still talking, the Players Association and Major League Baseball. The intentional pass thing is going to happen, but there are some other things that they're stuck on and are discussing. So there's not going to be any announcement on what the rule changes are until they're all done, and then there'll be a package announced, which isn't going to be a very big package. Because the Players Association didn't want most of the changes that Rob Manfred, the commissioner, wanted.
Yeah, and if you're going to do them, you want to do them over 2 years. Joe Girardi made a good point. He said, how about headsets? So you could actually, instead of having to look down at the coach, you could say, hey, bunt.
Then hacking would become part of baseball.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah. Be great. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one ripped foul.
I could just imagine Earl Weaver with a headset and you're pitching.
Just pray it didn't get on air.
Geez, yeah, you would need a 7-second delay for the hackers.
That would be great.
How could you have ever 7 seconds that pitch?
1-2 delivery on the way. Giovatelli will take it outside.
Well, the good news would have been you never would have had him come to the mound. That would have been great.
You would have liked that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure, though, you would have wanted to swap Earl coming to the mound for Earl in your ear for the entire game.
No. Can you believe it? Talk about a headache.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. That's going to go to the hole. It gets knocked down. Culver up and makes a very nice play. So two good defensive plays by the Yankees here in the inning. And the ball game remains where we've been, 1-1. Girardi, the two skippers meeting behind home plate, talking about if the thing stays tied, how long we're going to go.
That's right.
We're not sure whether they said 9 or 10, but we'll find out here. That's up to them. They make that decision here in spring training games.
Yeah,
There's Tony and his dad right behind home plate. That was good. Tony Pena, of course, first base coach for the Yankees. Francisco Pena, his son. So they get to chat as he heads down to first.
Yeah, Francisco, the bigger version of the father-son duo.
Much bigger.
Yeah. So Oliver Drake, I mean, lights out. Did get to pitch the last 2 years in the big leagues. Fastball, splitter, loves the splitter. Why not? Boy, I mean, just unbelievable numbers at AAA Norfolk. 23 hits in 44 innings. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, and 66 strikeouts in those 44 innings.
Clint Frazier is the hitter for the Yankees. He's getting his first at bat.
Well, this is, again, when they traded Andrew Miller, who was having a terrific year for him, his second year with the Yankees, to Cleveland. This was the marquee player. They got, 4 players.
Broken bat off the end towards center. That's going to fall in for a base hit.
And he can run a little bit.
Gentry fell, and he'll get into second base standing.
They try to get to it, and then, again, he slips. Frazier known, again, young player, power, maybe chases a little bit, but again, playing at Double-A, right off the end of the bat. They'll find a hole in the defense. And then right there, once you leave your feet and don't come up with it, and you can run a little bit, plays in front of you if you're Clint Frazier, easily into second with a double.
So now some situational baseball, which managers love to work on in spring training. You're in the 9th inning. Ball game is tied at 1. That's the 6th hit for the Yankees. The Orioles have 4. Now you're trying to get a potential game-winning run in. Base hit into right field. Alvarez, they're going to hold the runner at third. Throw all the way through to Pena, and a line drive clothesline throw that went over everybody's head till he got to Pena.
Well, there's been some talk that taking Dario Alvarez and making him a pitcher, and we could see right there, arguably as good a throwing arm of anybody in the organization. And again, heads up base coaching, because the last thing you want to do, get somebody thrown out with nobody out.
So the Yankees with a chance to take the lead, as Estrada will have the go-ahead RBI opportunity. Yankees second baseman. Yankees now with 7 hits in the ball game. 2 here in this inning. They had 3 off Jimenez, the starter, including a run. Nuno gave up 1 hit, and Bridwell gave up 1. Now 2 in this inning off Drake. The overhand pitch will miss for a ball. The infield will play in. Double play situation, of course, second and first. But more importantly, runner takes off. Frazier takes off from third base. They'll try and cut him down at the plate on a ground ball. 1-0 delivery, put up in the air to left field. That one's going to carry. That one's back, and goodbye home run. Back of the bleachers, Estrada. A 3-run homer for the Yankees.
Well, again, the wind, I mean, just gusting from right to left. The minute you get it in the air, really no doubt about it. Certainly gets the job done. I mean, it's going to be a sacrifice fly anywhere. Runners at first and third. You get one of those spring training home runs. And again, there is joy in the Bronx, or maybe Tampa. Fly ball. And then, you know, Drake, not a hard thrower. Ball up in the zone. And just sails right out of here for a 3-run home run.
So the first 3 Yankees have scored here in the 9th inning. Frazier with a double, Deglan with a single, and the home run by Estrada. And the Yankees take a 4-1 lead. Culver at the plate, 1 at bat, and struck out. And his only chance in the ball game that came in the 7th inning. So Estrada's long ball. Second home run we've had in the game. Jonathan Schoop's home run back in the 3rd inning. The only one hit for the Orioles today. Drake trying to find an out here. A 2-0 count on Culver. And he'll go looking for the long ball and a big cut. Count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, normal day. Obviously, you want to stay away from the big inning. 1-1 ball game. He would have taken the sacrifice fly and then maybe trying to throw with the splitter, the double play ball. But that routine fly ball just, again, not even close.
Over the bag, long throw. Robert Andino on the money and records the out. Nice play by Andino.
Yeah, I mean, Robert played so much shortstop, and you know, again, your long throws. If your shortstop's in the hole, if you're a third baseman, over the bag. And again, 32. I said, "God, you're not 33 years old." He said, "Not yet." Give me time. Nice play right here. Gets himself set. Nice, strong, accurate throw.
Good play. Andino records the assist on that one. 1 down here in the 9th inning. Here is Crawford. Crawford will chop one foul. His lone at bat came in the 7th inning, and he was a strikeout victim. So the Yankees up 4-1. The Orioles have an at bat in the bottom of the 9th to try and get back at it, being out hit now 8-4 by the Yankees in this ball game. Drake's pitch grounded down to first base. Washington there. And there are 2 down. Now, the Orioles Spring Training Baseball is live with the MLB.com At Bat app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet. 2 down, bases empty. Here's Avellino. Avellino's made a fine defensive play at short in the ball game. Had 1 at bat, flied out to right field, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Evital Avellino not on the 40-man roster and not an active spring training invitee. As happens early on in spring training, you end up with players like Avellino who are in the minor league camps, which either just opened or will open here this week for most teams. That includes the Orioles, who get their minor league operation going. But these are players who are in the minor league system and at the minor league camp who just get called up for a day to play in a game. Broken back ground ball. That'll be played again by Andino. 3-run homer, though, by Estrada has put the Yankees on top. We go 4-1 Yankees to the bottom of the 9th. Telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer with you here in Sarasota with a big crowd of 6,900 plus. And we go to the bottom of the ninth inning with the Yankees up 4-1.
So another one of the minor league guys they brought over from Tampa. Kyle Haynes last year pitched at Scranton. And, you know, as a starting pitcher, we've seen a lot of guys out of the bullpen. 18 starts last year. 5-5 record. ERA a little bit over 4.5 runs a game. The Orioles down by 3, looking for base runners. Get one up in the air to left field. Something good will probably happen. Saw that last inning.
Well, we'll see what Joey Rickard can do to lead it off here. He will get his first at bat. Rickard. Santander is out on deck to hit for Chris Davis. Kyle Hayes out of Woodbridge, Virginia. Too far away from Orioles home.
Way to Richmond.
Went to Virginia Commonwealth University last year. Both AA, AAA ball with a combined 6-8 record. Well, he'll try and wrap the ball game up. Rickard vying for a spot again after that tremendous spring training and start of the season last year. Outstanding defensive play, great on base percentage. Right, had some key hits.
Yeah, really quick bat. You know, kind of sees they let him off early on. You know, maybe a little bit tentative as a young player.
Estrada's at second.
But yeah, one thing he showed is he can hit left-handed. But again, you got 4.5 weeks or so before Buck Showalter realized can Gentry play at this level. We've seen him do that in the past. Or if you want Rickard to go to AAA, get some at bats, maybe come back. And again, of course, if you're Joey Rickard, you want to stay in the big leagues.
Yeah.
I was talking to Ryan Flaherty. He said, "Hey, nobody wants to go back down." But sometimes, you know, again, I mean, it's a decision usually made either by your play or somebody in the front office.
Yep. Pitch will be taken for a ball. Anthony Santander at the plate. He's got some power. He can really drive a baseball. Pull hitter. Yankees put the shift on against him. Came inside with it, hit the corner at the knees for a strike.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. If you're Buck Showalter, he said the scoreboard always dictates what you want to do. Now they give him the bunt. You know, every spring, big article, about 10 days ago, everybody learning the bunt. Well, this is one of those times, just lay one down. You can just walk to first.
Yeah, the home run's not going to do a whole lot of good right here.
You know, because today, every day it seems like a little bit different message. You know, runner at second, what do you do with nobody out? Do you get him over? Do you try to get him in? As Buck said, the scoreboard will tell you pretty much what you have to do. Right here, if you're Anthony Santander, you're trying to get on. Santander, you're trying to get on base. And they are giving him a bunt.
Third base is wide open. Culver, the third baseman, playing in the shortstop hole with the shift on against him. Santander will go after it and will foul it away. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Orioles will taking on the Phillies tomorrow. They'll travel up to Spectrum Field for an afternoon game. Mike Wright's going to make the start for the Orioles, and the opposing pitcher for the Phillies is going to be Clay Buchholz. The Orioles are very familiar with, of course, in the Boston days. 2-2 pitch on the way, and he chased it for a K.
Yeah, young hitter, you just try to climb the ladder, up the stairs. And again, when you're pitching well, even if it's spring training, you know, your catcher can really help you out. Where is he standing and giving you the high target? Not that was the case here, but he just swings right through it. It kind of tells you a little bit about what the Red Sox thought about their starting pitching. You know, with Pomerantz and Price, and you know, going out and getting Sale, and you know, last year's Porcello winning the Cy Young, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Alvarez ground ball, that'll go to Estrada, and that's our spring training game. So the Orioles are retired in order, 1, 2, 3, and the Yankees will come away with a 4-1 win, out hitting the Orioles 8-4 in the ball game. And the first of 3 meetings for the Yankees is now part of spring training history. Hope you'll join us on Sunday. That's March 5. More action for spring training games as the Orioles welcome the Phillies to town here at Ed Smith Stadium. Our coverage on Masson will begin at 1 o'clock. Today, the final, the Yankees 4 and the Orioles 1. This has been a Masson presentation. On behalf of Jim Palmer and our great crew here at Masson, delighted to be back with you for the 2017 season. We'll see you again on Sunday for game number 2. I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu.